She's got crossover appeal. She can hoop and headline. That's why she's the one the media calls. That's why sponsors line up. And that's why little kids know her name, even if they've never watched a WNBA game before. Meanwhile, Collier is on the defensive, fighting not just to keep her relevance, but to protect a version of the league that's quickly disappearing. And when a player starts fighting the fans instead of winning them over, that's not leadership. That's legacy erosion.
Napheesa Collier actually right. Are the fans the same fans packing arenas and blowing up the ratings, the ones to blame for a toxic WNBA?
We have seen a lot of embarrassing whining and crying boo-hoo about fans booing opposing teams' players.
Caitlin Clark is packing arenas, breaking records. Why is it only a problem when it doesn't favor the old guard? Even former WNBA players weighed in. Courtney Williams and others said it straight.
Courtney Williams and Tisha Heidemann to say what gotta be said. This is great. Let's take a look at what the stud buds had to say.
Well, how you feel about the Indiana people booing DB?
I mean, I feel like me and you already talked about this. What we said. I don't feel like they booing her as a person. Maybe they just booing her because she cold and they left her and she left their team.
It's sports and owning the spotlight.
Clark has firmly established herself as the biggest name in the WNBA.
If you're 100% for Caitlin, drop a 100% for Caitlin in the comments right now. Napheesa Collier recently sat down in a podcast and called today's WNBA fan base toxic.
It is getting so toxic.
The WNBA needs the fans so y'all can get the money that you feel like you're worth. Like, let's be all the way real here.
And when you shine that bright, someone's bound to fade. For years, Napheesa Collier wanted the league to grow. But now that it has, thanks to Caitlin, she's watching herself become invisible in the process. And that's what makes this so serious, because you don't need an official retirement or injury to see a career start to end. All it takes is a shifting spotlight.
Where are these two stories? Napheesa Collier comments and Reese's
in 50% capacity for an all-star. How do you lead a league that isn't listening to you? And instead of evolving, Collier is pushing back.
Only want to be traded to that team. They're further handcuffing the Indiana Fever.
Instead of embracing the momentum Caitlin's brought, she's labeling it as toxic, as if passionate fans are the problem, not the product. But here's the thing. The product is thriving, jumped overnight. The Fever now sit in the top 2 for attendance across the WNBA, and nearly every road game they play is a sellout. Teams like Phoenix, Atlanta, and even Las Vegas are seeing surges in ticket sales. Not because of their own stars, but because Caitlin is coming to town. And the kicker? The Golden State Valkyries, a brand new expansion team, are already leading the entire league. Show up for her games. They scream her name in enemy arenas. And even when she's not playing, the WNBA conversation still revolves around her. Just look at the numbers. Clark leads in jersey sales, fan voting, and media buzz.
Y'all league actually got eyes on it. You have to understand that. You have to people were not paying attention. Probably when people say this, you're like, oh, yes, they were. Yes, they were. Look at 2 years ago, the All-Star voting, and now look at this year's All-Star voting.
That's surprising and disappointing, honestly. It is getting so toxic, I feel like, in our league with a lot of the fans going back and forth. Like, basketball and sports are supposed to be so unifying, and it is so toxic. Like, every game, it's like hatred out there towards other players, and not just, you know, like Angel and Caitlin. Like, they are the OGs where people will get so like polarizing with.
She's single-handedly responsible for sold-out arenas in over 10 cities this year. Even veteran players are forced to admit it. When Clark plays, the money follows. Now contrast that with Napheesa Collier. Despite being in the league for years, despite winning a title, and despite being a top player, her name doesn't trend. Her games don't sell out. Even her own home fans in Minnesota can't fill the building. The Target Center seats nearly 90.
I feel like in our league with a lot of the fans going back and forth, like, basketball and sports are supposed to be so unifying, and it is so toxic. Like, every game, it's like hatred.
This is a massive debate, and it cuts right into the bone of the WNBA's entire future.
She said there's too much hatred in the stands and on social media.
Sorry, not to interrupt you. You know what is kind
of collide and create a PR disaster for the WNBA. The league is finally getting the mainstream attention it craved, largely thanks to polarizing must-see players like Caitlin Clark.
And Caitlin Clark is pulling that spotlight so far forward, the old guard is getting left in the dark. This might not be the end of Collier's playing days, but it's the beginning of something far more.
But it's with everyone, and people are just so nasty on there. And it's like, we're playing a game. We are playing a game, and you are saying hateful things about players. Like, I don't know. That has been like really surprising. I feel like we're trending in a really bad spot with that.
But let's cut through the noise. What Collier sees as toxicity is actually something she and others have never had to deal with until Caitlin Clark entered just not for her. The hard reality is this. Collier's version of the WNBA is being replaced.
You want to get paid like they're paying attention, but in reality, you want to sit in your safe space.
And Caitlin Clark is leading the takeover. She's changing the expectations for what it means to be a superstar in this league.
UConn, no stranger to national championships, and they are prepared. They took down the lampposts early just in case.
So at UConn, when they had diehard fans and raucous environment.
It's not just about stats anymore. It's about connection, charisma, and culture in attendance. And no one on their roster is complaining about fan energy. They're embracing the hype, feeding off the support, and growing the game. That's how you win. So why is Collier calling this rise in fan energy toxic? Why the sudden sensitivity? Simple, because she's not the face of it.
I feel like people find a reason to try and hate on Bron. Like, I feel like people find a reason to try and hate on Fee. Like, you can't find nothing to hate on that girl about, so you just find.
This isn't about talent. Collier can still play. But in today's WNBA, talent is only half the game. The other half, impact. And right now, Caitlin's impact is off the charts.
These WNBA fans are going to be the same fans that go to Unrivaled.
She's lifting teams, lifting revenue, and lifting attention like no one before league. Real attention.
Hide in their little bubble. Now that the fandom, the conversation has finally arrived, they are so taken aback, they are calling it toxicity. Every time Fee speaks, it hurts me, man. It hurts me. Every time she just proves that not only her, but the players within the league are just so separated from reality.
Collier says this isn't just about the intense rivalry circling around phenoms like Caitlin Clark and Andrew Reese.
Kind of surprising and disappointing, honestly. It is getting so toxic, I feel like, in our league with a lot of the fans going back and forth. Like,
Napheesa Collier actually right. Are the fans, the same fans packing arenas and blowing up the ratings, the ones to blame for a toxic WNBA?
The league wasn't growing. Games weren't selling out. Media coverage was non-existent. There was no spark. Then Caitlin arrived and made everything louder. Suddenly, the WNBA has national TV deals. But instead of getting applause, the backlash was swift and brutal.
She keeps her head down, she keeps her mouth shut, and she plays hard on every single play.
But it's with everyone, and people are just so nasty on there. And it's like, we're playing a game. We are playing a game, and you are saying hateful things about players. Like,
fans didn't just disagree, they were offended. Major celebrities show up courtside. SportsCenter runs daily highlights. And most of it, like it or not, is driven by Caitlin Clark's name. And that's hard for someone like Collier, who spent years doing it the right way, only to be completely overshadowed in one season. But here's the cold truth. This isn't about fairness. This is about firepower. The fans choose who they want, and they've chosen Caitlin.
Saying hateful things about players like,
you suck! Oh my God, that's so hateful!
That's sports. That's how it works. You either embrace the noise or you crumble under it.
Part of being an adult is dealing with those decisions and making the best out of them. Not quitting. They quit, retire if they can't handle it. Wait till she finds out what NBA players go through. Yeah, wait until she finds out.
Social media trending topics and actual rivalries. That's not toxicity. That's what success looks like.
You need every damn fan to watch, to go there to support, period. You should not be saying nothing about fans unless it's in a positive light.
And here's where the numbers expose it all. Napheesa plays for the Minnesota Lynx, And despite her team's success on the court, they ranked 9th in WNBA attendance, barely averaging 9,000 fans a night in permanent, the end of her influence. And Caitlin didn't even have to say a word. She just played her game. The rest, the fans handled that for her.
We have seen a lot of embarrassing whining and crying boo-hoo about fans booing opposing teams' players. These ladies don't know how to handle more publicity, more fans, and you're crying and complaining.
Before Caitlin Clark showed up, games were half empty. Now arenas are sold out.
You guys said this. You guys said y'all wanted people to come out. You guys said this is what you guys wanted, and it honestly shows the lack of media training that this league has.
Before Caitlin, players barely had to deal with critique from the outside world. Now the WNBA has ESPN top bill.
The same fans that go to Unrivaled. It's in regards to the fans. And if this is scary, currently there's a clip going viral right now regarding Napheesa Collier.
Why don't you do that, Napheesa Collier? It's actually really, really ridiculous and sad. I have never in my life heard players bash fans so much.
Sorry, not to interrupt you. You know what is?
A stadium that seats nearly 19,000.
You have a brand new team, the Golden State Valkyries. Now that Napheesa Collier is in the WNBA, a brand new team. They lead the league, 9,000 stinking fans a night.
That's half empty, even during winning seasons. Compare that to Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever. The moment she entered the league, attendance of eyeballs and forced the world to pay attention. And that terrifies a lot of people. Why? Because it changes everything. Before Caitlin, players like Collier were the league's leaders by default. Drafted high, consistent stat lines, quiet professionalism. But the truth is, they were leading in silence.
These WNBA fans are going to be.
I ain't never went into a, well, actually I have. I don't went into an arena and got booed before, but it was like in college. But every time I go, hey, I know if I ever walked into the arena and they booed me, I would have the time of my life.
You know what happened?
Because I'll be blowing kisses at the crowd. Oh, they'll be mad at me, twin.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to embrace it. It's not, bro, the fact that fans have emotions and care about the game, that is what you want.
On the court, she drops 30-point games. She silences entire